Hello and welcome to season 4, episode 2
Yes.
of I See Bad Movies. I'm one of your hosts, Dave Keane. I'm joined by, and I didn't look up any special descriptive words
Why not?
of just because you're just amazing. I don't need any other words to describe you, Emma.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously joined by my amazing co-host Emma.
You've used amazing before.
But that's because you're amazing. No.
You need to look up words that begin with E, I thought we said.
Well, I did. Effervescent.
Yeah.
Effluent. No, that's not good.
Extraordinary.
Extraordinary. Excellent. Oh, God, they're all coming out now.
Extremely good.
If I put a hyphen in, it still begins with an E.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right, fine. Well, welcome back, everyone, to season 4, episode 2. I don't know why I bothered saying season 4, episode 2. Welcome back to episode 2. Emma, what are we focusing on in this season?
We are focusing on big stars, bad movies, aren't we?
We are,
Is that what we called it?
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. When we had that meeting in the last episode. Boy, do we have a movie for you today, everyone.
One that I've never heard of.
No, I'd heard of it, but I'd never ever
okay.
seen it. I had absolutely no interest in watching it when it first came
You've
out.
heard of it because you've got the DVD.
But I've got the DVD because this is a DVD that, just like, what was that? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yes.
That was loaned to me by my friend Ed. This is one of his DVDs. So again, this is another shout out to Ed to say thank you very much for the DVD.
So you know how loans work, don't you, David? Somebody gives you something for a little while and then you give it back.
Yeah, I know,
How
but
long
the
have you
trouble
had it
is,
for?
I've had it a long time because what Ed forgot is that we don't watch all the movies and then review them months down the line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. I've yet to explain this to him.
So he gave you a collection and we stuck it
Yeah. Some of these other DVDs are actually going to show up in this season, funnily enough, as well.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, today we have something special. Before I even talk about the movie,
Yes.
don't we? We've had someone else sign up to the Patreon.
Yay!
Yay! So this is our chance to say a massive shout out and a thank you to Alison Scott.
Hi, Alison. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Welcome along, and we hope you've taken pleasure in the.
Oh, she's got a lot of episodes to catch up on, actually.
Yeah, there'll be 19 episodes of The Flip Side to watch
Yeah.
or listen to, even.
Listen to,
Yeah.
Can't watch them.
Yeah, and also at this stage, 3 episodes of the bad movies for kids.
I think there's 3, yeah.
Yeah, at this point. Yeah, I think it's 3 at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, although there is 4. By the time this episode goes out, the 4th one will be released. So,
okay.
So yeah, there we go. Yeah. So welcome, Alison, and to all you other lovely Patreons that are still with us.
I know.
I know.
Don't say it like that because we need to sound confident.
Oh yeah,
Of course you're still with us.
No, of course, yeah, of course, yes, of course. So Emma, do you want to know? I mean, you've not seen this film before.
I've not seen it, no.
You know the film we're watching, but for the
Have
sake,
you seen it before?
no, I've never seen it.
You've not
No, I've
seen
just heard it.
Okay.
But for the sake of the podcast, Emma, would you like to know the name of the movie we're
I'd
watching?
love to.
We are watching Monkey Bone.
We are.
What's so funny?
Only because I've read the back of the DVD case.
See, I haven't even read the back of the
Oh,
DVD
okay.
case yet.
But you should read it.
And our big star in this is Brendan Fraser.
Although you've also got
With
Bridget Fonda.
Bridget Fonda. Not to
Whoopi
take away
Goldberg.
from Bridget Fonda. Yeah, there
Quite
are
a few people
a
on there in
lot of
this,
big stars in this film. I was looking through the IMDb and it is packed full of people. You've got John Turturro. You've got... where are you? It's disappeared. You've got Giancarlo Esposito. Anyone who liked Breaking Bad will know that. You've got Rose McGowan, Megan Mullally, Bob Odenkirk. Lots of really big people. Although, when this film came out, I don't think I'd have known any of them.
No.
Maybe Megan Mullally, because of Will and Grace in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I don't
They,
know when
that would have been...
was.
That
Was
must
it
have been...
90s or was it early 2000s?
Was it early 2000s?
I feel like Friends and Will and Grace was like 90s,
Oh,
wasn't it?
yeah, I know. It does feel... Will and Grace was 1998. That's when
Yeah.
that started. You've read the back, I haven't.
Yeah.
And for our lovely
Go for it.
listeners, let's have a little listen to what's going on in this film. So, it's rude, it's raunchy, it's totally outrageous. Oh my god.
Although it is a PG-12, or no, just a 12.
Yeah, it is a
So
12.
it's not going to
yeah.
be that raunchy. We don't
It can't
know.
be that much, can it?
Unless, you know, this was a few years ago, you could get away with more, so it might be quite raunchy.
It might be. Ugh. Are we? Oh God, are we ready for how raunchy it might be?
Yeah. We've seen Carousel.
We've seen Carousel. yeah,
There's a sex scene in that with a carousel.
We have. We've seen all sorts.
So
Do you know what? I wouldn't even say sex scene, but what I would say, what love scene I've seen on TikTok recently doing the rounds is the Neil Breen one from I Am Here Now.
is that the one where he's laying on top of
Where
her
he's
face
lit-
is a line, so he's like not even
Yeah.
looking at her.
And then
kind
he's
of over the
got,
top.
and then that like strange mask appears on his
yeah.
face and all that. Yeah, yeah.
That's not good.
I mean, I'm ready for anything except for that scene. Yeah. Anyway, so Brendan Fraser goes bananas in this balls-out comedy that breaks all the rules. After a car crash sends repressed cartoonist Stu Miley, Fraser, the mummy returns, into a coma, he and the mischievous Monkey Bone, his hilariously horny alter ego, wake up in a whacked-out way station for lost souls. When Monkey Bone takes over Stu's body and escapes to wreak havoc on the real world, Stu has to find a way to stop him before his sister pulls the plug on reality forever. Bridget Fonda, Chris Kattan and Whoopi Goldberg co-star in this inventive blend of live action and stop motion animation loaded with must-see, eye-popping special effects and some of the crudest laugh-out-loud humour since South Park.
We'll be the judge of that. But also, he'd done The Mummy by this point.
He'd done The Mummy Returned by this point.
This better be good then. And Whoopi Goldberg, I'm taking it she'd done Ghost, but when was Ghost?
Ghost was
that
early
90s?
90s.
So she's done Ghost as well.
Yeah.
So you've got some pretty big movies there at the time. They were
Yeah, oh,
big
100%.
blockbusters.
And Bridget
And they've
Fonda
done
was
this.
massive early 2000s because of like, you had Single White Female in the late
Yeah.
90s. You had La Femme Nikita just after that as well.
Okay.
And lots of other films that she was in.
If in doubt, just say other things.
Jackie Brown. She was in Jackie Brown.
Oh, okay.
That was
So
quite
yeah,
close
so
to
you've
them.
got big stars in this.
Yep. Right,
Yeah,
you do.
so I don't know if we're a bit worried this won't be a bad movie, but surely just the storyline of it is going to be
Yeah.
bad, isn't it?
See,
And it hasn't got a very good score on
it doesn't.
IMDb, has
It's
it?
only got like a 4.8 out of 10 on
Yeah.
IMDb. So, yeah. And some of the reviews are pretty middling as well. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what
I
it's
mean,
like.
to be fair, I guess you don't always know. With some movies, they can either really work or they can really flop.
Yeah.
Depending on, it's not just the script, is it? It's kind of the production of it, the cast. It's kind
Yeah.
of, some things either stick or they don't. And I think,
Yeah.
so actors might sometimes think, oh, this could be really funny. It's really not. Or,
So that's one of the things as well. So one of the movies that will definitely not be coming up in this season
Yeah.
of Big Stars Bad Movies is Dish Dogs with Sean Astin and that.
That's awful.
And that's one of those movies where it's like it's riding off of the success of films like American Pie,
Yeah.
but it just does not hit right at
No,
all.
it's awful.
It's just dreadful.
We actually turned that off when
Yeah.
we tried to watch it, didn't we?
And it was one of the, I think, was that the last film that we watched before the lockdown eased because we were watching it
I think
remotely.
so. But that we rarely turn something off.
Yeah,
we've,
very
we've
rarely.
sat through some.
There's been
Bad
two
films.
films we've turned off: Dish Dogs and Tropic Thunder. Not Tropic
No,
Thunder,
not-
Jurassic Thunder.
Yes.
Yeah. Which, if look them up because we won't be covering them.
Don't watch them.
Yeah, don't watch
Don't
them.
waste your time.
But yeah, I mean, Sean Astin, would we see would he be a big enough star to make this?
What else has he done?
Emma, we can no longer be friends.
Don't tell me it's Star Wars or something like that.
Oh my God.
Don't watch Star Wars.
Sean Astin played Samwise Gamgee in Lord of the Rings. Emma.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know every actor's name in that. There's loads of people in Lord of the Rings.
And they're all amazing.
Actually, I haven't watched Lord of the Rings for about 50. Is that possible? When did it come out?
Yeah, it came out. Yeah. Would it be 15 years?
I
can't
saw
even remember.
them when they were first out, and I don't think I've watched them. Oh, actually, no, that's a lie, because Brody wanted to watch them.
Good
So
on
I did
Brody.
watch the first couple, and then the third one he tried to sit through, got distracted.
Well,
They're
that's...
pretty long for kids, aren't they?
Yeah, they are stupidly long
They're
for
like 3
kids.
hours long.
Yeah, my kids are a bit older now, and when they've been a little bit older, we did like movie nights and we watched all the extended versions.
Yeah.
But one New Year's Day, we did all 3 extended versions in one day.
Did that. I think I remember you telling me that you were doing that.
So much fun. Best day ever. I think it was only topped by doing the Cornetto trilogy the following year, and having like, you know, Hot Fuzz and all that.
Yeah.
And having the corresponding cornettos with each movie. Oh, chef's kiss. What a day. That was such a good day to do hungover. Just 3 cornettos in a day. Oh, brilliant. Anyway, shall we have a look at if we're going to focus on the good or the bad stuff for this film? All right, okay. Right, now I'm hoping this gets picked up. What do you reckon? Yes, it is. We're focusing on the good.
Keep going.
You do. And it's my turn to pick the categories.
It is your turn to pick.
So, yeah, if you are tuning in for the first time, we've flipped a coin to figure out if we're focusing on the good or the bad. And now we're going to pick 5 categories, see what we're focusing on. Casting.
Okay.
So, that'll
There's
be looking
some
to
good
see
actors in
the
this,
best
so,
casting for the part. Best supporting cast member. Let's go for one of the edges. Best line.
Yeah.
And a zany comedy. Oh, it's going to be full of them, isn't it?
It's raunchy, so let's hope for a good line.
Location.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm guessing a lot of this is like, I'm not
He's
sure.
in a coma, so it might
He's
not be
in
in a hospital.
Yeah. Oh, we got one more to go. Let's see, what have we got? Best scene.
Oh, okay, cool. That's
Right.
normally a good one.
So, scene, location, line, supporting cast, and best casting. See, I always think casting will suit the flip side or the bad.
Yeah.
Because, like, who was completely miscast in the
Yeah.
part they were playing. So we shall see. All right, are we ready to watch Monkey Bone?
I think so.
All right, we'll see you all in a minute. Hello, welcome back, Emma.
Hello.
We have just watched Monkey Bone.
We have, haven't we? What
Yeah.
a interesting
Yeah.
movie that was.
What a very, very interesting film. Thanks for coming. Bye.
Really don't know where to start with this one.
No, it's a strange film.
Very strange.
I think at one point when we were watching it, I nearly said to you, "Oh, this is like a Tim Burton movie, but just not directed by Tim Burton." And then,
Yeah,
and I
so
didn't say it, and then
I
later,
compared it to Beetlejuice, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then you said, yeah, it is like a Tim Burton film.
yeah,
By
it
somebody
is,
else.
yeah, by somebody else who
Yeah.
kind of, it's almost like someone said, "Here's like all these Tim Burton movies. We want to make a movie like this," and
That's your inspiration. Go.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I expected it to be at all.
no,
I don't really know what I expected, but I didn't expect it to be this weird fantasy.
yeah,
I didn't hate it. I wouldn't say it's one of the better ones we've watched, but
yeah.
yeah.
Although I remember saying to you quite close to the end, it's so close to being a good film,
Yes.
and you said it was not that
It
close.
had, no, but it had potential. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It had a couple of funny bits in it, and I liked the special effects, and I quite liked the fantasy world. That was done quite well. There was elements that I liked, and it had
Yes.
potential to be good, and it had a great cast, but it wasn't something I don't think I'd again.
Wasn't very polished.
No.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think I'd watch it again. It's a watched one and done.
Yeah.
Yeah, watched one and done, definitely. So, for our dear listeners, shall we go through the synopsis as best we can
Yes.
for this film?
It's kind of. I think we're probably going to miss a few bits. It's quite tricky to remember what happened in what order.
Yeah, it will be. I'm not going to lie to you because it does, and the thing as well, it sort of jumps back and forth.
Yeah, it jumps between the real world and this fantasy world.
Yeah.
So you don't really know where you're at.
Yeah, definitely. So the movie opens with Stu, played by Brendan Fraser. his cartoon Monkey Bone, it opens up with.
Yeah, so we start off with the cartoon and we're
Yeah.
like, what's going on?
Yeah, and the cartoon is a bit crass. It's like Ren and Stimpy,
Yeah,
Beavis and Butthead,
yeah.
but not quite as. I mean, you though, Ren and Stimpy was on like 6 p.m. in the UK on BBC Two, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
When it was out,
Yeah.
if I remember. Yeah, I remember it coming on after Neighbours, flipping it over to
Yeah.
BBC Two and watching it. So it's adult, but it's also not too adult.
Yeah.
Just imagine that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you've never seen Monkey Bone, that's what it's like. Pretty crass, very very puerile humour. But when the cartoon ends, we are at like an event
Yes.
where they're announcing that Monkey Bone has got like a 6-episode run on a cartoon channel.
Yes, and Brendan Fraser's like the creator of
Yeah.
Monkey Bone, isn't he?
Yeah, we meet his. I'm guessing agent.
Yeah, I guess
Herb,
so.
it must be his agent.
Yeah.
I can't think what else job that would be because he's
Yeah.
the one trying to get all the advertising deals
Yeah.
as well.
He's got all the merchandise, hasn't he?
Yeah, and Stu's against all this kind of merchandise
Yeah,
and
they've got
selling out.
dolls and things like that, haven't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's not really that interested in that sort of thing. We meet his girlfriend Julie, played by Bridget Fonda,
Yeah.
as well, and we find out as well that Stu is going to propose to her later.
Yes.
She obviously is completely unaware of it. But Stu and Julie, Stu doesn't really. He seems a bit of an introvert.
Yeah.
He's not really a people person.
Yeah.
He doesn't really like people, and him and Julie decide that they're going to leave the event early, and they go to disappear off. Then what happens? They're in the car trying to sneak away.
Yeah, they get in the car to leave.
And Herb stops them for some reason.
Yeah, I can't
chats
remember why
away.
he stops them. But why does he lean back into the back of the car for something?
Yeah, that's the thing.
And he's not just putting his arm back, like men do when they put their arm around the passenger seat to reverse.
To reverse, do only men do
I
that?
think only men do it. I've never seen a woman do that.
That's a good point actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is just us men that
Apparently
do
there's
that.
a difference between how men and women get in the car as well.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. I
Well,
can't
how is
remember
that?
which way round it is. So one puts their leg in first and then kind of puts their head in, and the other one puts their head in first and then their leg.
I think I put
I
my
put
leg in
my
first.
leg in first, yeah.
Am I a woman?
I don't know how I'm hugging that. Who knows? But yeah, anyway, I don't know if he's doing that or whether, I can't remember. He puts
Yeah.
his arm back for some reason.
That's
And
right.
in the back of the car is like this huge inflatable monkey bone, isn't there? I don't know
Yeah.
why that's in the back of his car.
Yeah.
But as he puts his hand back, he pulls like the ring pull cord on this thing that makes it. It's a bit like a lifeboat or something. It just
Yeah.
goes.
It
Pull the
just
cord.
puffs
and it
right
goes.
up.
So that puffs right up, and then obviously he can't. Oh, and then he gets so wedged in the car, and his foot gets wedged on the pedal
Yeah.
because it's inflating and it's pushing him forward, isn't it? It's against
That's
the steering
right.
wheel. So then he's so squished up that his foot gets stuck on the pedal, and he's just reversing, and he can't actually stop the car and control it. So they crash.
Yep, they crash. And there was one bit as well where Herb, the agent, was behind the car.
Yes.
And it's one of those age-old things. It's like the car's coming barreling at you.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's coming out of a car park.
Yeah.
And you've got the gates, the car park, where you've got like pavement either side or sidewalk, if you're American, and then you've got a main road. So what he could have done was just move to the side onto the pavement. And
Yep.
he goes running into the main road where there's loads of traffic.
it's like if something is coming right at
Towards
you,
get out of the way.
yeah, go left or right. Don't
Like,
don't
car's
try
gonna be
and run
fast-
away
yeah,
from it.
Don't try to outrun a car. You're not the woman in Crawl swimming away from a
Yeah, navigator.
You
Yeah,
can't outrun a car.
it's like that scene in Aliens Prometheus. I don't know if you've ever seen.
I have seen it, but not
But
years ago.
like the spaceship's a great big circular thing,
Yeah.
and it's rolling towards Charlize Theron's character,
okay.
and she's running in a straight line from it.
Indiana Jones with the boulder. Well, I suppose with the boulder,
Where
you can't really
he's-
get out of the way. But
Yeah, but
but people always run. Yeah, in the line of something. Get out of the way.
yeah,
Go left
run
or
to an
right.
angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't watch Game of Thrones, did you?
No, I didn't.
So in Game of Thrones as well, there's this big scene called the Battle of the Bastards, right?
Yeah. Nice.
Where where there's one kid, Rickon Stark, who's like a hostage.
Yeah.
And he's told to run by the baddie,
Yeah.
who then decides to start firing arrows at him as he's running.
Okay.
So, what would you do if someone is firing arrows at you? Would you A, run in a straight line,
Yeah.
B, zigzag?
Yeah.
There's no C. Would you run in a straight line, A or B?
I'd probably zigzag and try and avoid the
Yeah,
arrows, if
you
I
would.
could.
Maybe, change your angle of
Yeah.
zigzagging a
Just
little
run in
bit
a straight
sometimes. Yeah, just run a straight line. Guess what happens?
He gets hit by an
Yeah,
arrow.
he gets hit by an arrow and
Yeah.
dies. Life advice.
Yeah.
Life advice.
Stick with us for more life hacks.
Sometimes you need to zigzag
Yeah.
to progress in life. That's it.
Yeah.
You know.
But he doesn't get hit though, does he?
No, he doesn't.
The guy, he's
surprisingly,
quite lucky.
he's very lucky.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Stu's not lucky. Stu
No, they have an accident.
is taken away in an ambulance in a coma.
Yeah.
Although they tell him, oh, he's in the ambulance, oh, he's in a coma.
Yeah, they do straight away, don't they? Like immediately. It could just be passed out for like a few minutes, but no, you're in a coma. And then
Yep, definitely in a
then
coma.
he goes off to hospital, doesn't he? And we meet
Yeah.
the sister. That's his sister, isn't it?
Well, he kind of goes into his coma, and we see him go into
we see
the
the-
world first, and it's
Oh, that's it. So he goes into the coma, and then it cuts to a scene of him on a roller coaster.
yes,
So there's kind of nothing around the roller coaster. This is the bit that made me think of Beetlejuice, I think, just the way
Yeah.
they've done it. So he's on this roller coaster and there's kind of nothing around. I quite like that bit actually. I think that
Yeah, it
they
was
did
good.
quite well. And then he sort of comes down to a city, I guess.
yeah, and the city's just called Downtown.
Yeah.
That's it.
So the roller coaster stops and he gets off and he's in this like fantasy world and there's everybody there. Well, apart from that Catwoman waitress, everyone's kind of a weird monster kind of.
Yeah, like the faces are really sort of distorted and,
And it's
big.
kind of a mixture of costume and CGI, isn't it?
Yeah.
The faces when the faces are moving, it's definitely CGI.
It's got to be.
But it
if
looks-
that was
but-
practical effects, it's absolutely fantastic.
It's got to be, computer
Yeah.
generated. But the actual costumes look like costumes
Yeah.
rather than, it didn't look completely CGI'd. It looked like they just CGI'd their faces to me.
Yeah.
But they're all like weird and wonderful creatures, aren't they? They're not anything
Yeah,
Earth-like.
the-
Apart from there's one woman who's a waitress in the bar, and she's cat girl
Yeah.
or whatever, and she's got like almost like a Halloween costume of like a cat. She's kind of like got the whiskers and the nose and stuff, but
and
she's
the tail as well.
a
And,
woman
yeah.
in like really, isn't she?
Oh yeah, 100%.
But apart from her, all the other characters, am I right? Oh no, sorry, we meet Whoopi Goldberg later on.
Yeah, we
She's
do
the
meet a
woman.
few
There's a
later
couple
on.
of people in there, but there's mainly these weird creatures.
Yes.
Kind of like labyrinth, kind of
Yeah.
that sort of. But
Yeah.
they're not as puppety as those, are they? They're kind of. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, they're like
Costumes,
imagine.
but also CGI.
I'm trying. Yeah, it's a really good. Yeah, it's really hard. Sorry to explain them
Yeah.
because they're like normal people, but just well, I say normal people. They're
It's somewhere
kind of
between
walking around our height.
Total Recall and Labyrinth, I'd say. Somewhere there, like
2 weeks.
2 weeks. It's kind of, I don't know, because there's people
Yeah.
that are a bit like odd, but
Mm-hmm.
they look more like people, and then there's creatures, but the creatures aren't completely puppets. They're not puppets. They're like costumes, but they've done a bit of CGI. And
Yeah.
and Monkey Bone is there as well, isn't he? The little monkey.
Well, we don't. Do we meet Monkey
I don't think we
Bone
meet
yet?
him immediately,
'Cause
but he is there.
He ends up in a bar,
Yes.
sort of drinking his
Oh,
drinking his sorrows.
So they give him, and what they give him to drink is the IV drip, isn't it?
Oh, Yeah, what did they call it? A co-martini,
Comatini,
which
yeah.
I thought was excellent because I've drunk martinis
but they
almost to a
literally-
comatose state before.
Have like a yeah, I know. I remember on New Year's Eve one year. Yeah, they have like a drip bag, and then they've got like the tube coming down into the martini glass, and they fill it up
Yes.
with the drip. That's what he gets to drink, and then he's in this like weird bar, isn't he?
Yeah.
So we see him in this like fantasy world for a bit, but then it kind of splits between. It goes back to the hospital bed. And you
Yeah,
see
it
the
goes
family
it goes
around the bed.
really far back. It's kind of a real hard cut from between the two
Yeah, it's
worlds.
just literally like you're there
Yeah.
and then you're there.
Yeah, the
And
starkness of the hospital as opposed to like this weird and wonderful
Yeah.
world. Yeah. In the hospital, Julie's with him,
Yeah.
and we meet his sister, played by
Yes.
Megan Mullally.
And I've just got to say, she plays the same character as she plays in Will and Grace, doesn't
Yeah,
she? Pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah. Very much
Yeah.
typecast. Yeah.
So she's very much like, when's he going to die? Can we have a deadline on this?
Yeah.
I'm a busy lady.
Well, they
But
said
she's-
that the mother and father had such a drawn out death
Yeah.
that her and Stu had made a deal that if they ever got into a position like this, they'd just pull the plug.
Yeah.
So she's literally looking for the plug to pull.
Yeah, and she's literally says to the doctor, "Can you give me a date? Like, when's he
Yeah.
going to die?" So they say 3 months, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know if that's like, well...
Roughly, if he hasn't woken up by 3 months, then
Yeah.
we can pull the plug. You can give us permission to pull the plug. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
because they're like, oh, he's you know, his brainwaves are in good. He's all right, you
Yeah.
know, but he might just never
I
wake
mean,
up.
people are in comas for 10 years, aren't they? Sometimes, like,
Years, yeah.
and then that's so weird, isn't it? To then just wake up.
I know. I
What
sometimes
goes on
wonder.
in the body to make somebody just all of a sudden just wake up? And
Yeah,
also, how do you cope with losing 10 years of your life like that?
Yeah, I know.
It's so odd.
it would be, wouldn't it?
Everybody around you is 10 years older. Like, if you've got
Yeah.
children,
Yeah.
I don't think I'll get my head around that.
Just think as well, 10 years worth of technology that you've missed out
Yeah.
on, that you'd have to learn.
Yeah, I know.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
no,
But
no,
no,
I'm just going to go live in the
doing
woods.
it. Yeah.
I'm just going to get myself
No,
rehabilitated.
go back into a coma, bye. Just close my eyes and hope. You know when you're trying to get back into a really good dream?
How's my
Just hope I go
TikTok
back into
account
the
doing?
coma.
Oh, TikTok's no more. It's not
Yeah.
TikTok anymore. It's something else. Oh God, just put me to sleep. Oh, pull the plug. We have. Yes, she want. So we've got our time limit of 3 months now, haven't
Yes.
we? Now we cut back to the fantasy world
Yeah.
now. Monkey Bone is performing in the bar. Stu's clearly
Oh, he's
sick and tired
yeah,
of
he's
him
really
now.
annoying, isn't he?
Yeah, really annoying. We'll get more on that later.
Yeah.
Jesus, definitely will. Now,
He captures him at one point and puts him in a bag, doesn't he? It's just
Yeah.
like, stop it, just shut up. And then we see, I think this is the scene where we see death, don't we? We see the Grim Reaper.
it's
Do
not.
we? Was
it's-
it not the Grim Reaper?
Yeah, it's not death, but it's someone who works for death
Oh, okay.
because
One of Death's minions.
Yeah, one of Death's minions. I don't know
Yeah.
if they. I can't remember what they called it in the movie, but I don't think they called it a Grim Reaper
Okay.
because it comes along and picks a really, really old guy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And gives him an exit sort of token.
Yeah.
And there's a great hubbub, and everybody kind of gets involved in this like ritual.
Yeah.
To this old guy, he goes along, he puts this exit token into the mouth of something, goes into a machine, straps himself in, and then gets fired off into Abe Lincoln's mouth in the sky,
Yeah.
and that's him waking from his coma.
Yeah.
So like, and that's what got me as well. I was thinking, is this place real? Is it Stu's imagination?
It must be his imagination, surely.
But then the rest of the events of the film, I think it's actually it's supposed to be a real place. Okay. So why is Monkey Bone there in the first place?
No idea.
No idea. That's what I don't get.
Yeah, because Monkey Bone's not a real creature. He's
he's
an illustration.
Yeah, he's a monkey illustrated.
Which there is an explanation of how he came about, which I found hilarious. The girlfriend is talking to somebody, isn't she, and explaining how Monkey Bone came about, and she's like, "Oh, I just told Stu to." Oh, because we see a weird painting that he's done, like a really surreal painting, and then someone's asking about, that's a very different style to his painting, and she says, "Oh, I just told him to draw with his left hand one day, and that's what came out, Monkey Bone, because he's like a real kind of, a bit like a Peppa Piggy kind of illustration." But
it's not great. Yeah.
That's how he came about, so he tried to draw with his non-dominant hand.
Yeah, because the painting with his right hand was a really sort of macabre, horrible-looking but lifelike painting.
Yeah.
Whereas, the Monkey Bone drawing is very
Just
much
like
a crappy kind of drawing. But
Yeah.
yeah, and So I'm thinking this place is a real place, and it's not a part of Stu's imagination.
So how is he? So that's his soul that's there. How is he?
Well,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, I think it is literally his soul that's there.
Okay. So his So did we then cut back to the hospital bed and the sister's in the black hat, sort of already in mourning? It's like 3 months.
Yeah, it's been the
He's got
3 months
beard.
now. He's got a beard. Yeah.
And his girlfriend is like, "Come on, you've got to wake up. Like this is it.
Yeah.
We're gonna." And the doctors are saying that they're gonna pull the plug, aren't they?
At 9 a.m. the following morning.
Yes.
Yes.
And they get to the point where they're just about to pull the plug, and then in this fantasy world, he gets
Well, he gets an invite to a party
yeah,
by Hypnos, the god of sleep,
yeah,
who's played by Giancarlo Esposito.
yeah.
And when he's at this party, they all watch a nightmare, and it's Julie's nightmare about the plug being pulled
Oh yes,
on Stu,
yeah,
and because we find out that they kind of feed on nightmares
yes.
later. They need people's nightmares for whatever
Like
reason.
Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
They need
exactly.
people's
Yeah,
dreams.
yeah. I mean, when it's clear that it's laughter that is the better.
Yeah,
You know, why do they just never learn? They just never learn ever. Yeah. So yeah, they've got to do that. Yeah. So he witnesses this nightmare and realizes that it means that he's about to have the plug pulled
yeah.
on him.
But I can't remember how he gets out. Can you?
Yeah. So
Okay.
they decide that Stu needs to get one of these exit tokens,
Yeah,
and him and Monkeybone decide to hijack and jump onto the back of one of these. I'm going to call them Grim Reapers just for the sake
Yeah.
of ease. Jump onto the back of one of these Grim Reapers, break into their place,
yeah.
steal an exit key, and use it to get out.
Okay.
All before the plug is pulled on him, and that's the end of it for him. So they break in. Well, this is where we find out that Whoopi Goldberg is death.
Yeah,
There's all sorts of shenanigans. They break in, they steal the exit key. However, they're getting very close to it. To get the exit key, nothing really specific happens that's worth talking about. Some stuff might come up in our
yeah,
discussions about the topics, but they're getting very close to the exit or the machine that need to put it in, and Monkeybone betrays Stu at that point, steals the exit key. I don't know what he does. I don't know if he doesn't knock Stu out or anything, but I think he just runs away.
okay.
He plugs in the exit key, gets into the machine, and gets fired off into the Abe Lincoln's mouth. Stu can't get there to stop him, so Monkeybone.
Oh, I
So
see.
now we go back into the real world. They're
Yeah.
just about to pull the plug out,
He just sits bolt upright, doesn't he? As soon
Yep.
as they go to pull the plug out.
and it's Monkeybone.
But Monkeybone's in his body.
Yeah, but nobody obviously knows that.
Yeah.
They all just think, oh, it's Stu. The sister faints. We never see her again.
Yeah, she does, doesn't she?
Yeah. But yeah,
And then, Julie takes him home. Mm-hmm. Julia?
Julia. I can't quite remember. Julie.
So
Yeah,
Julie
Julie.
takes him home, but this is the bit that's really quite irritating. So he's acting like the monkey,
Yeah.
so he's just really annoying.
Oh, it's so awful as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I like Brendan Fraser. I think he's a very funny man. I could watch George of the Jungle over
Yeah.
and over again. It's a great film. Even, films like California Man, although I think it's called California Man here, isn't it? But I think it's called Encino Man in America.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it's got a different name.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure it has. Yeah, but, correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong. I could watch those films
Yeah.
back in the day. I don't think
Yeah.
I could watch California Man again now. But that was just him being goofy and daft.
Yeah.
And then I actually said, this is after The Mummy and The Mummy Returns.
Yes, it is.
This is after those films.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't see him going backwards.
No,
into
this is
that
the thing.
goofy.
So Brendan Fraser at this point has done The Mummy and Mummy Returns. Whoopi Goldberg has done Ghost.
Yeah.
And it's like, those are pretty big movies
Yeah.
at the time, weren't they? I mean,
Yeah, they
well,
are.
I don't know how well they did, but
Bridget Fonda
they're
was
well
big
known.
then
Yeah.
as well.
So this movie has quite an impressive cast. They've all done some pretty big movies.
Yeah.
So this I guess they take a punt with a lot of movies. Like they don't know how they're going to work out. You know, you get something like Beetlejuice that just lands, does really well, everyone gets it.
Yeah.
That's kooky and weird, isn't it? But you know, it's got kind of a,
Yeah. Do you know what?
I don't know. It's just that sort of that work. This is trying to be that sort of style of film,
Yes.
but it doesn't come off as well as Beetlejuice. And also, I think Beetlejuice had more of a solid storyline, whereas this is a bit wishy-washy in that it's a bit like, you know, he's in a coma, he's got to get out of the coma, the monkey gets into his body by mistake, and then he has to get back out into his own body, blah, blah, blah. But it's like you switch between the two different worlds, so you don't really ever know where you are.
Yeah.
You don't really know what's going on in this fantasy world, do you? Because, or if it's not, I don't know if it's a fantasy world or not, but in the alternative world, you don't know what's going on really.
Yeah.
You've just got kind of all these weird creatures and none of it makes any sense.
Yeah, you just have to assume that this is the life there, and that's it.
There isn't like loads of storyline there, is there? It's kind of goes into a coma, needs to get out of the coma. Other than that, there's not really a lot else going on. So, and when there are bits going on, you don't really know what's going on.
That's right.
So so it's just, I guess, when actors take a movie like this, on paper, something like Beetlejuice probably looks weird. It's probably like, what is this?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
But actually, the way it's produced, it works.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've got some good actors in there and stuff like that. That all helps. But I guess, some of these movies that actors take on, it's like, this is going to be hit or miss, and we don't know which one it's going to be until it's produced. And I guess there's a lot of movies like that.
That's a good point, actually.
Because when you think about some movies that you watch and you think, wow, that was amazing, but it's totally off the wall, like, unlike anything you've seen. Mm-hmm. And then other movies try it and it just doesn't, something's not quite right.
Yeah, it doesn't catch. They're trying to go for the same, and it just falls short.
Yeah, there's some great elements in this. Like I
Yes.
say, like the roller coaster down to where it's kind of in nothing, and then he lands in this city. That was really good. I thought that was really well done. We had some great special effects in there, didn't we?
Yeah, and do you know what I just found out as well? The director of this movie directed Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Directed the James and Giant Peach movie.
Yeah.
And Coraline as well.
Oh, okay.
And I actually honestly thought that they were all Tim Burton films.
Yeah.
Apart from James the Giant Peach, I knew that wasn't Tim Burton.
Going for that style, yeah.
Yeah, but so I can see now where all of that is coming from.
Yeah.
But this one just doesn't.
It doesn't quite.
Yeah, it's just not
there,
quite
does it?
there.
Yeah.
It could have been so much more. Been so much more. It's a shame. Now, the reason Monkey Bone has done this, and there is a reason, it's not just that he wants freedom. Monkey Bone's got to deal with Hypnos to create more nightmares on Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Because they feed on nightmares, so they want more nightmares. Stu is locked up in a prison with a lot of other people who have tried to escape, apparently. So you've got, I know this is where it just gets a bit weird. Stephen King's in there. Yeah. Even though Stephen King is here, but are they implying that someone else took over Stephen King? I don't know. You had Lizzie Borden, you had Edgar Allan Poe, all sorts of people locked up with a Jack the Ripper for some reason.
Weirdly,
you know, people that I suppose are there to give people nightmares. I
guess so, yeah. But that world just didn't make sense anyway, did it? So.
Yeah, it didn't. Miss Kitty comes to see Stu, and she's like, "I knew about the plan, but I couldn't tell you." Blah blah blah. And she looks quite sad that she's obviously, because I think she actually really fancies Stu. In fact,
she actually really likes him.
Yeah, or to have someone look at me the way Miss Kitty looks at Stu.
I know,
you know?
don't.
Oh.
I've got a dog, so I do have.
You do have someone that looks at you like that,
yeah. Only normally when I've got food.
It's food. What? I'll look at you like that when you've got the slushy machine.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So there is going to be a slushy machine at I See Bad Movies headquarters.
This is the headquarters.
This is. So if you hear us slurping away, just mind your business, because if there's a slushy machine in the house, we're having slushies.
That's it. Oh, Imagine how much more fun would Monkey Bone have been if we were sitting there slopping away on a
We probably
slushie.
wouldn't pay much attention to the film, would we? We'd just be like, another slushie?
I'll have another 5, please.
We could make alcoholic slushies. I think I've just invented my favourite drink. Slushy cocktails.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's a definite. That's happening.
Is it okay to put out? I'll just have to add the alcohol afterwards. I can't put the alcohol in the slushy maker because the kids might be getting a bit. Woo!
Just some leftover alcohol in here.
Mum, can I have another one of those? That was amazing.
Kids are sleeping really well tonight.
Well, that's not a bad plan, actually.
They're really grumpy in the morning, though.
Yeah. Throwing up all the time, headaches. Yeah, no, we definitely have a few slushies when the slushie machine's up and running.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait.
You never go out of slushies.
I will just add that, like, we're not being like, now we're big famous podcasters. We're going to have slushy machines.
Yeah.
It's for a birthday present.
It's for a birthday present for my daughter. So, but I will be using the slush machine whenever I like as well.
Oh yeah.
But if you could sign up to the Patreon, that will keep us in slushy syrup because that's expensive. I think it's like 15 quid for 4 flavours.
And rum to put in it.
Yeah. Well, they've got loads of rum
tequila.
actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
So we're all right for rum.
What?
Yeah.
Why is my tea just normal tea then?
Well, because you've got to drive home.
Oh yeah. I'll sleep in the car. I'll be fine.
Yeah, be fine.
Done it before.
Anyway, I forgot where we were.
Yeah. Miss Kitty. Is
yes.
apologetic to Stu because he's now trapped there. She's chased out of the prison by a mouse
Oh, yes.
in uniform.
Yeah, there's a little mouse guard, isn't there?
Yeah. A little mouse guard. Sorry, that was good. Don't know why. Made me think of mouth guard. But mouse guard, both guards, got nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing to do with it.
But yeah, he did work there, didn't he?
Yes, he worked there. Now, that's one thing that we forgot.
What?
The night before the plug was pulled, it was Julie's nightmare about the plug being pulled that drove Stu to want to really get out, of course. Yeah. But also, that same night, Julie is a doctor of sleep, I think, or sleep issues or of the brain. I'm not quite sure what she's a doctor of. But she noticed that same night she's talking to her friends and she notices that Stu's brain activity is the same as when he's having nightmares.
Oh, she has the chart.
She's got this chart. So she's developed something that will cause nightmares in people.
Yes, because she thinks she can scare him awake, doesn't she?
Yes, so she the night before gives him an absolute dose of this.
In his neck, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit grim. She just sticks this needle in his neck.
I don't know about anyone else here, right?
I've never heard of people having injections in the neck.
If someone's in a coma, right, or even if they're just in hospital,
yeah,
right, they've usually got a cannula in.
Yeah, but you can inject stuff.
And you can inject stuff in there directly into the bloodstream, and she just straight into the neck.
Yeah,
I mean, what the hell?
Never heard of somebody injecting in the neck.
I don't think there's anything that's like, look, we need to get it to his brain quickly, so let's just inject him in the neck. No. Because your blood gets pumped around your body so quickly, it's going to get to your brain really quickly. Yeah. It doesn't need to go
if something's in your bloodstream, then
it's in your bloodstream.
Fine, yeah.
Yeah. I love this with movies. They just do the weird things.
Do random things like that. Like, why the neck of all places? It just seems so odd to me.
It's just madness, isn't it?
Although it's not as odd as, I don't know if I think I've told you about my nan having the eyeball injections.
Oh, yeah.
That, I couldn't believe it when she said, no, they actually inject my eyeball.
I'm going to have to put a trigger warning on the beginning of this episode because we're talking about injecting an eyeball. Oh.
Yeah, I can't talk about that in front of my daughter because she's really squeamish about eyeballs. But yeah, it was quite a shock.
Put me right off my slushie.
It's not going to have eyeballs floating in it.
But what if it's Halloween? You put an eyeball in it?
I might do, yeah. Just for a laugh. Just to scare you.
No, I'm really worried. So she injects it into the neck.
Actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Because what it does is it also points out to this Hypnos fella that she's got this drug that causes nightmares.
Yep.
And they feed on nightmares and they want it, so blah, blah, blah. So it's all been a great big ruse, really. Nothing to do with Stu, but it's all been a great big ruse to get their hands on her nightmare juice.
Yeah.
Now, at this time, Monkey Bone is in the real world, in Stu's body.
Yeah.
Doesn't know quite how to behave as a human.
Oh,
And
there's a very strange love scene.
Oh my god.
We'll talk about that though, won't we? We'll talk about the love scene scenes.
That scene will come up.
There's a very interesting love scene. He's just acting like a complete idiot.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's a monkey, isn't he? Not a person.
The dog hates him.
Yeah.
As opposed to, he normally loves Stu, but
And Julie
now
must be
can't
thinking,
stand him.
you're not the same since you've been in this coma.
Yeah, there's things a bit weird about you.
And then at what point do they start? Because they start injecting the monkey bone toys, don't they? So they've got the...
So Monkey Bone in Stu's body goes to Julie's lab or office, wherever, and steals this nightmare juice. Okay.
Which looks exactly like, if you've seen the Minions films, looks exactly like the purple stuff that they inject the Minions with, and they turn all crazy, don't they? They go purple.
And they get the purple ones in the. Is that number 2? I think it is.
I don't know if it's 2 or 3. Which one is it where they turn?
I can't remember.
And they're like shooting them with the gun, aren't they, and stuff? Oh no, they shoot them with the antidote out of the gun to change them back. But yeah, it looks like that. It's like a cylinder of purple goop.
Oh god, we can't call it goop because
of
Gwyneth will
no. Sorry, gloop.
Gloop, yes. generic brand gloop. So he's got this, but also at the same time, he's really going crazy on the old merchandising as well.
Yeah.
Because Monkey Bone, the first thing like Monkey Bone says when he gets home is he expected like a much bigger house because like what are the no royalties from Monkey Bone, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Because Stu's not bothered with merchandising.
No.
None of that has ever happened. So Monkey Bone decides, well, he's just going to sell his soul for any old buck. And some of the products that come through are just like, what the hell? So
there's those toy monkeys with their thumbs up their arse.
Yeah.
And when you release the thumb, it like lets out gas.
Yeah, it just like throws out a gas out the bum.
Yeah, pretty grim.
So that's what Monkey Bone decides is now he's going to put whatever the mixture is that pushes the gas out, he's going to mix it with the nightmare juice.
Yeah.
So it gets on people, causing them nightmares, feeding hypnos, etc., etc.
But hold on, would it work like that? Because she injected him with it, and people are just breathing this in, are they? Does it have the same effect?
Yeah. I mean, clearly, whatever he does, he weaponizes it by turning it into an airborne thing now, and you can breathe it in, and because it happens to his agent later.
It kills you instantly within 5 minutes.
Oh God. If you're not aware of that quote, that's a quote from Neil Breen's Double Down with his anthrax.
Yeah, that he puts into the... Does he put it into the lake?
Yeah, he puts it into a lake, kills the fishies, and then he's got anthrax.
To test it out.
And he puts it on someone.
It kills you instantly, but this person takes minutes to die.
And literally, you're quite right, the quote was, this anthrax kills instantly. He'll be dead within 5 minutes.
Yeah. That's not instant, is it?
Yeah, that's not instant. I mean, I can understand if you mean...
Instant is like dead. Oh, I can't click my fingers. Can't click my fingers.
It's because you've got the... There you go. Yeah. You can't click your fingers because you've got the material of your jumper in the way.
That wasn't on my finger, that was down there.
Yeah, but the sound is your finger hitting your... That's what the sound is.
Yeah.
I always thought the click was the... Sorry,
no,
now you're just getting a lot of clicks. It's just click, click,
That'd
click,
be really
click,
annoying
click.
if you had earphones in. Sorry, cut that bit all out. You won't.
I'm going to have to. Our poor listeners' ears. Anyway, yeah.
It's not instant anyway.
But I could understand if he meant not instant death, but like guaranteed death.
Yes. Or you could just say...
There's no way you're going to not die.
It kills you very quickly.
Yeah.
Not instantly.
Almost instant death. Within 5 minutes. I'll accept that.
Yeah.
But no. See, Neil Breen movies, we still have to talk about those.
Do we have to? That means we've got to watch them all again.
But what we're going to do though is we're not going to do a season on Neil Breen. I think we need to do Neil Breen and slot them in. record
just
them
like extra
and slot them in
episodes.
as extra episodes in
Yeah.
between specials, in between seasons or something.
Okay.
We'll be here for years.
Yeah.
But then we'll probably have seen the 6th movie. Oh, can't wait.
Is that the documentary one or is that? Oh no, it's an actual
there's
movie.
an actual 6th movie that's coming.
I can't do the documentary. I cannot commit to that.
I know, I've still not watched it
How
myself.
long is it? 5 hours?
5.5 hours, something
No,
like that.
I can't do that.
I've not even watched it myself. I can't bring myself to watch it.
The only time you could watch that is that horrible week between Christmas and New Year when no one knows what day it is, what's going on. If you had a day then, you could possibly do it.
And you're just surrounded by sweets and chocolate.
You've got loads
Yeah.
of food and booze. You can just
I'm going to ask
Food
for a slushy
coma.
machine for Christmas.
yeah,
And I'll try and make a Toblerone slushy.
yeah.
You maverick.
I'm not sure that's going to taste great, but yeah.
I think it
I
will.
bet you could do awesome milkshakes in that slushy machine because it just crushes up the ice basically, so you could pour anything in there. I bet you could
Apparently
make
not
nice.
Toblerone though.
No, but if you were making a milkshake, not a slush, don't have it with slushy syrup. That'd be gross. But yeah, we'll experiment.
Yeah, we'll experiment. Yeah.
Loads would be like, why do my slushies taste like milk?
Anyway,
And vodka.
why is David passed out on the floor, Mum?
David's been here for 3 days. When's he going to wake up?
Is that an intravenous drip of slushy into his veins? Oh dear. So Monkey Bone.
Yeah, so he's injected the toys
Yeah.
with this
Yeah.
purple stuff.
And he's going to put the toys. He's going to give the toys away at some big event.
Yes.
And somehow Stu finds out about this, and
How does he find out about that when he's in this other world?
I can't remember. There's something that gets through to him. I don't know if it's like, I think it might be Hypnos telling him about it.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, like the classic thing that the villain does, tells you about your
Yeah.
the plan. But with Miss Kitty's help, Stu
He gets out,
gets
of,
out
it because
of this prison.
She
She,
basically attacks the
Yeah.
mouse or the rat or whatever he is.
yeah. When I saw her, and she was after giving Stu a key and him getting out, she is just chowing down on this mouse.
Yeah.
And like she's covered in blood, and she's like, just leave.
Yeah.
And and I thought, my God, why is she doing that? And I realised, he's a mouse guard. He's a mouse. That's what she does. She's a cat, of course. So Stu is like, right, he gets himself to Death's place, and he's going to steal another exit key, but he decides to go there. But then the next thing we see, that's it. He's captured.
Yeah.
Instantly, it's just like, what sort of idiot? And this is Death talking. What sort of idiot just comes back to a place that we'd already captured you once before, blah 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 blah. Anyway, but that's when he's like, I can't even remember what it is that he says, but he convinces Death to let him go and send him back to the real world.
Yes.
But obviously, he can't go back to his own body because Monkey Bone
Is in his body, yeah.
is in his body. And she says, well, you're going to need a body. And she kicks him up the arse,
Yes.
which sends him flying into the sky, into Abe Lincoln's mouth, and into the body of a dead gymnast.
Yes, there's a dead gymnast that they are taking organs out of.
They are
aren't
currently pulling the organs out of, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's brilliant, that guy.
It is brilliant. Played by Chris Kattan, who's I believe was Saturday Night Live, but I know him from the sitcom The Middle. With it's a very funny. I like it a lot. It's a family in Indiana, in America, and they're just a poor family.
Yeah.
Brick and it's great. It's a very funny show. But I recognise him from that. He's just like a very hapless. He plays hapless guys.
Yeah.
But what happens next, I think, is the best bit of the movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic. I'm gonna go into detail about it in my the good scenes. But this gymnast escapes.
Yeah, so he just wakes
With
up to his
Stu.
dead body.
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden
Broken
he just
neck.
wakes up. Broken neck. Yeah, he does that really well.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up and he sort of jumps off the table, and the doctors are chasing him, aren't they? Because they're like, "We need the organs." But he literally gets gaffer tape and just tapes himself up. And
Takes
then off
himself
he goes.
up. He's got a bit of wood down his back, and
Yeah.
he tapes his head to it so he doesn't. But he does. It's a fantastic piece of physical comedy. Absolutely brilliant.
Does it
The way
really
he's
well.
running with his neck kind of off, and how he's running off to the side with it.
Yeah.
And bumping into things. Fantastic. But he ultimately gets to the event.
Yeah.
He foils Monkey Bone's plan.
Yeah.
Convinces Julie that he's Stu in
Yes.
this body.
Yeah.
And then we have a really played out moment where there's a giant inflatable Monkey Bone, the one that caused the accident in the first place,
Yeah.
that Monkey Bone in Stu's body climbs onto, Stu in the gymnast body climbs onto on a
Yeah.
rope, and we have this kind of back and forth of them trying to knock each other off and
Yeah.
stop each other. And then a policeman is like, of course, an American policeman, gun trigger happy,
Yeah.
decides, I'm going to shoot them down, and he shoots a hole in the bum of
course.
the monkey, of course, sends him flying, and they smash into the floor, and they both die.
They must. Oh,
Kind
They
of.
must die, and then
I don't know if it's coma. I mean, the gymnast is like, yeah, okay,
He must
Stu's
be
out of
dead.
his body, because Stu and Monkey Bone both go crash landing back to downtown,
yeah,
and Death,
that's where Death uses that
Yeah.
big.
yeah,
guy.
Death, yeah. So the seat that they sit on to be rocketed into Abe Lincoln's mouth is suddenly gets up out of the water, and
It's like a big creature,
a
isn't
big-
it? Like a giant.
giant robotic
Yeah.
monstery thing. Anyway, Stu's on there.
So Stu's in one hand and the monkey's in the other hand.
Yeah.
And then she just literally claps his hands together,
Yep.
and that pushes Monkey Bone
Combines.
back into his brain,
Yes.
and then Stu can get back into his body.
Yeah. And she's like, we all need a little bit of Monkey Bone in us.
Yeah.
So that was a bit. I mean, I mean, the whole movie I think was leading up to just that one joke about
Yeah.
having a monkey bone inside you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of.
kind
It
of.
was a bit schoolboy humour in a lot of
Yeah,
places, wasn't it?
Yeah, combines the two together. Stu kind of the bug up Stu's ass kind of dies a little bit
Yeah.
because he's a bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
But then I think Monkey Bone is basically the persona of all of Stu's childhood trauma of being bullied as a child, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that's why he hates people. And then Death says, well, I'm going to send you back. Bing, sends Stu back,
Yeah.
gets into his body, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right, wasn't it?
It was okay. I mean, there was good parts to it,
Yeah.
but it just didn't quite do it for me. It was like
Yeah.
it was close to being a good movie, which I guess is not what we want on this podcast. But so it was bad,
Yeah.
but it had great elements in it,
Yes.
and it had potential to be a really good niche
Yeah, it did.
film, but it just didn't quite get there.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah, it wasn't the worst we've watched. It wasn't a struggle to get through.
No, that's right. And
Was it about an hour and a half ish?
It's about an hour and 40. Yeah, about an hour and 40. So it didn't feel like it dragged either. You know, at no point did I think, oh, I'm really
But I
bored
wouldn't
of
watch
this.
it again. I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't,
no.
and I wouldn't say to people, "Oh, go out and watch it."
Yeah. And I don't think
yeah,
it's
it's
particularly a cult classic either.
No.
I don't think it's the sort of thing that was like, oh, this movie was really underappreciated at its time.
Yeah, and it wasn't kind of for me. It wasn't quirky enough to be like a real niche. Like you've got a real
Yeah.
following, but it's a very niche audience.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know. I think it got stuck somewhere in between. Like I don't know. I keep coming back to Beetlejuice, but I think Beetlejuice just got it right. It was. I mean, how many people do you know of our generation that don't like Beetlejuice? Like, and wouldn't sit and watch it if it was on?
Yes, that's
It's-
right.
It just worked for a wide audience, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very strange film,
Yeah.
but it's funny, and
Yeah.
I think they got the humour right. And I mean, if you look back on it now, special effects weren't great because it was an old film, but
Yeah. but
I don't know.
but it all kind of just worked.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's not enough to rely on some good bits to get you all the way through it.
No.
You've got to have the whole package of it.
Yeah.
You know, like Beetlejuice had the great supporting cast,
Yeah.
all working really hard in it.
Yeah.
You know, this one
And a
it's
stronger
got
storyline.
it's got good supporting cast, but it doesn't give them the material to work with
Yeah.
that something like Beetlejuice had.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of little things just missing from it,
Yeah.
you know. And I thought some of the supporting cast was absolutely fantastic in it. I really did. I was really impressed by a lot of them. But all what's the saying? It was the sum of its parts. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. It was, yeah. I mean, do you want to talk about supporting cast as we?
Yeah, we can talk about supporting cast first.
That was one of our
Yeah.
categories, wasn't it? So we're talking about good stuff.
Yes, yeah, we are. I absolutely love Dave Foley, who was his agent Herb,
Okay.
because there's an old Canadian comedy show called Kids in the Hall.
Oh, I used to watch
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
and he's in that.
I was here.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I haven't watched that for years, but that did used to
I
really make me laugh.
loved it. And crushing your head.
Yes. I'm pinching your
And
face.
pinching your face.
Me and my sister still quote
amazing.
when there was one sketch on there where I think it was like a teenage boy, he was like, I'm going to move out, Mum. And she was like, you're not going to move out, you're not going to move out. And he was like, I'm going to move out. And he got a globe and he just spun the globe and he just pointed at where he was going to live. And he landed in the ocean. And she and the mum went, you're going to live in the ocean? You don't know anyone in the ocean. And we still quote that because we're like, it just made us laugh so much because it's just... It was that sort of humour and it was great. Yeah, I used
It
to
is
watch it.
an excellent show. I would stay up
I haven't
late
watched
to
that
watch
for
it.
years. I wonder if that's on YouTube because I totally forgot about that until you just said that.
I remember once I put on, my brother had the album by the band that did the theme tune to it.
Yeah.
And I finally had it and I put it on one day and I was just playing that song over and over, the theme tune over and over again. And when I turned it off, I could hear my neighbours just laughing. It's like, what the hell is that? Oh, it's so good. But yeah, Dave Foley is in that.
Okay.
And he was the Herb the agent.
Yes.
And he's fantastic. He's hilarious. He's perfect as the agent.
Yeah.
He's got that real, like, smarmy kind of thing
What
going
you
on.
imagine an agent to be like.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's so kind of supportive of Stu, but with the ulterior motive to get him to sign up to, you know, selling monkey bone meat burgers.
Yeah.
You know, so there's all that going on. Absolutely fantastic. You had in there as well Chris Kattan, the fella that did the gymnast.
He was my good supporting cast. He was brilliant.
Brilliant. But also he was Whoopi Goldberg, again, supporting cast, although kind of wasted in her role.
Yeah, well,
I
I'd put Whoopi Goldberg down for good supporting cast and just put it's Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, it's
You
Whoopi
can't really
Goldberg,
not add her in there.
but she didn't do much with her role.
She wasn't in it a lot though, no.
But
the gymnast
the
guy,
gymnast fella was
was
also playing Death's sidekick.
Yeah.
As well. So he had two roles in it.
Yeah, he was really good. And
Yeah.
we'll obviously talk about his scene because...
Yeah. He was absolutely fantastic.
So yeah, I had the gymnast and Whoopi Goldberg as supporting cast.
Yeah. Well, wait, I'm sure he was. Was he not? I don't know. Goldberg Death. Yeah, I'm sure he also played Death's sidekick. Anyway. It certainly looked like him. Yeah, so those two, I think, were absolutely fantastic in terms of supporting cast.
Yeah.
They were brilliant. Dave Foley, Chris Kattan. And I think Rose McGowan. No, what's her name? Yeah, Rose McGowan.
Yeah.
As Miss Kitty. Well, I mean, I don't know if she was I don't think she was particularly famous at that time, was she?
No.
Because I think, did she get more famous in... Oh, I can't remember. But I remember Rose McGowan from the... is it not Death Proof? You know when Quentin Tarantino did the Grindhouse movies? She was in one of those, the one that Robert Rodriguez directed, sorry. Planet Terror.
Oh, okay.
And she played a woman that had like a machine gun for a leg.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I know that's and I think that's way after Monkey Bone. So I don't know how famous she was. I don't know what else she was in before that. So I don't know if I would say, but I think she was kind of she was exactly what you needed for Miss Kitty, because Miss Kitty was just eye candy for Stu.
Yeah.
And Monkey Bone, but but not particularly like amazing supporting cast. Yeah. So who did you have? Just Chris Kattan down.
I had the gymnast and
Gymnast.
Whoopi Goldberg, just because it's Whoopi Goldberg, but she didn't, like you say, she didn't do a lot. She wasn't in it loads.
Yeah. Do you know what I don't have anything for? Well, I suppose supporting cast and casting
It kind of goes hand
is
in
kind of
hand.
going to go
I
hand
didn't
in
have
hand,
anything
isn't
for
it?
casting, really.
Because I think Dave Foley was perfectly cast as the agent, like I said.
Yeah.
So I think that the supporting cast has kind of covered the casting element.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Location. What have you got for location?
So location, I did like the roller coaster and like the
Yeah.
sort of, I keep calling it fantasy world. I don't know if it was a fantasy world, but the world where he goes into when he's in the coma.
Yeah.
I thought that was done really well. Like when he first went into the coma, I just thought, oh, this is quite nice the way they've done it. Like when it's just a roller coaster and there's nothing around it, and it sort of felt quite eerie and like. If you found yourself in that situation, you'd be like, "Oh, this is a bit scary." Like I'm just on a roller coaster with nothing around, and then you just land in this weird town where there's just all these. So I thought that was quite well done, actually.
Yeah. And the first thing he says as soon as he gets off the roller coaster is, "Am I dead?"
Yeah.
Is that it? Because it's a disorientating thing. But yeah, I agree, because I think that was especially the way that they did it, because he was in the ambulance, and when he said he was in a coma, he started to sink down into the bed. And I was like, I wish we had the special effects as well for this film.
I have actually made a note of the special effects, because it was really good.
Yeah. So many wonderful little tricks that they did.
We'll talk about that, shall we? Because that was...
I think so.
I think it's worth a mention. So there's a bit where he's... So in his... Is it in the world, or is it he's dreaming it? I don't know. But he's proposing to his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's on a hospital bed, but he's upright, isn't he? The hospital bed's like upright. And they cut a pipe or a tube that's
this is
connected to him.
This is actually Julie's nightmare.
Oh, it's Julie's nightmare.
This is Julie's nightmare. Stu is watching it when he's in Hypnos's house.
Oh, yeah. So she dreams that he proposes to her, and then all of a sudden he's on the hospital bed, but it's upright, and then somebody cuts a tube that's connected to him.
Oh, yeah.
And then he kind of deflates, but it looks like his face is melting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's quite funny, but it's so well done.
I cannot tell the listeners how good it looks.
Yeah, the special effect is amazing.
Yeah.
And then he kind of... So it looks like he's melting, and then he kind of just drops to the floor.
Yeah.
And then someone tries to sort of lift his head up, but it's all floppy. It's a bit like a Dali painting, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Floppy head, like the clocks that sort of flop over the edge of the side, and it's like that, but it's very well done.
Yeah, it is. Imagine like if you could take your skin off at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And just step out of a suit, and and it's just this.
Yeah, it's just like a costume
of him. So perfectly done.
It's really well done.
And that instant deflation thing that happened as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly why you picked that.
So that's the thing, the special effects, and there was other stuff, I think. I haven't made any other notes about special effects, but I remember thinking they've done it quite... I mean, when the creatures were talking and stuff, that was quite good as well.
The mouth moving.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a costume, it was definitely computerised.
See, what I'm thinking though is a lot of it was... So the director, having done Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline, these are all stop motion animation.
Yeah.
So I think what we're seeing when they're talking isn't CGI, it's stop motion animation on these faces as they're moving. And it's so well done.
Yeah.
It really is.
We did just have to give a shout out to special effects on this, because although we didn't pick it as a category, this is a trouble when we pick categories at random. We don't know which movie is going to suit which categories, but this yeah, we definitely have to give a shout out to the special effects.
100%. Yeah, it was really wonderful. Not gonna lie. Why would I?
No reason to, David.
Yeah. All right. So, another thing that I would say about the special effects, one that I really liked, was Hypnos himself.
Yeah.
So Hypnos was like this tiny little sort of satyr. I was trying to describe it. Hercules, the movie,
Yes.
where you have Dan DeVito's character play Dan DeVito's character. What's his character's name? I'm looking it up as I'm right now. Phil. That's it. So he's like a sort of satyr like that. He's like a little sort of devilish thing. He's got the horns. He's got the goat's legs.
He's got really tiny little legs, hasn't he?
Really tiny little legs.
Yeah.
So for a lot of it, he's kind of sitting on a bed, and you've got Giancarlo. Yeah, it's Giancarlo Esposito's head, just kind of on the shoulders and kind of doing that. But then there's a bit later where he's actually walking around.
Yes.
As well, and it's just a fantastic piece of puppetry as well, with these little legs moving and his head.
Yeah, they've done that really well as well.
So clever. And I think the body deflating was the best one, but I really liked the character model of Hypnos. It was really clever, really clever.
While we're talking about the size of things with his little legs,
Oh yeah.
can we just mention the size of the ice cream tubs when I think it's Julie and her friend is it? They're sitting there they've got a tub of ice cream each. I think it might be like Haagen-Dazs or something.
Yeah, it was Haagen-Dazs.
I just had to remark that the tubs they had over here in the UK, we get tiny little tubs. Like you buy a tub for about £4.
We
And
have.
it's tiny.
Is it £4? It's more now, isn't it? It's about
more,
£5, £6 now.
£6 now.
But we have 500 millilitres. So for our American listeners, it's just less than a pint.
Yeah, that's what
Just less than a pint, is it?
These were like huge, weren't they?
Oh, they were.
And I had one each, and I was like, okay, probably don't need that much in
It's
one
like a
sitting.
gallon.
But I would eat it if it was there because I do really like ice cream. But we were just like, everything's so small over here compared to America.
Yeah. I remember the first time I had Haagen-Dazs, actually. I went on a date with my girlfriend Jordana to go and see Independence Day in the cinema. And it was at Lakeside Shopping Centre. Yeah. And her mum didn't go with us, but her mum and her brother went and had something to eat while we went to the cinema. And because Lakeside is like the other side of the Thames to us, isn't it? It's over in Essex, for goodness sake. And I remember sitting down, I was like, I'm going to have ice cream in the cinema? What's this Haagen-Dazs?
Oh, really?
And I had no idea what to have, so I just went, I'll have pralines and cream, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Oh, hooked on pralines ever since.
Yeah.
So What was it? What was it that introduced Haagen-Dazs to us? It was movies, wasn't it? They were a movie thing.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
Because
what did it used to just be like popcorn at the cinema, and then all of a sudden it was every snack you can think of.
Yeah, because when did Haagen-Dazs become a thing in the UK?
Oh,
I remember it was like the 2000s, wasn't it? Or maybe no, sorry, it'd be early 90s. And it wasn't it. Yeah, of
Mum
course,
was there. You wouldn't have been on a date.
No.
In your 30s.
Although I've been on a few dates in my 30s. No, I've been on no dates in my 30s. I nearly said I've been on a few dates in my 30s where I wish their mum was there, and then I know. That just really didn't work. Wasn't there like a stupidly like sexy advert for Haagen-Dazs?
I can't remember.
Was that what did it?
I don't remember how it got introduced into my life.
But yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I don't think Americans appreciate the portion sizes they have compared to the UK.
Oh yeah, I know.
And it's like if you supersize at McDonald's in America, I mean it's enough to feed a family of 4. We get Like a large fries over here is pretty small still, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you get a large fries and it's not that much more than a medium. You get a large drink and it's not that much more than a medium.
It's a lot more, but it's not.
Cost, it costs a lot more.
Yeah, so we don't get the portion sizes over here. But it shocked me how big these ice cream tubs were.
They were gargantuan.
Yeah.
And I want them.
Yeah. We'd have to buy like 4 tubs to get the same amount over here, wouldn't we?
Actually, I mean,
But you could do that. I mean,
we could do that.
There was something stopping you money because it cost you about 20 quid.
I'll tell you what. I'll bring the Haagen-Dazs. You provide the
I'll provide
slushies.
the slushies.
And
We're good to go.
And yeah. And we'll watch the Neil Breen documentary.
I'm just gonna have to bring a lot of ice cream.
Yeah. Well, for 5 hours. Yeah, it'd have to be. Right. What do we want to talk about?
So we've got line and scene, haven't we?
Yeah, line and scene left, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you want? You pick. Which one do you want to go with first?
I've only got one good line actually. I'm sure there were a couple. I think you might have a different one to me.
Okay.
So when he's in the jail, he says to, is it Miss Kitty? Is that her name?
Yes.
He says to Miss Kitty, the woman that I love is living with a horny little monkey that looks like me. And she just goes, lucky girl. I thought that's quite nice. I like that.
Yeah, that was good. Because he was oblivious to it as well. And
Yeah.
that just summed up Miss Kitty and Stu's relationship,
Yeah.
didn't it?
She's like,
very much unrequited love. Oh, bless her. But she did get a snack, a little treat later.
yeah,
In eating the mouse.
yeah.
Oh, was that you on the good line?
That was my. But I think you might have written down another one.
I wrote down
what it was now.
I've got 2, and I kind of said one of them earlier. So when Stu decides to break out the second time and he breaks into Death's headquarters, and we instantly cut to him captured, and he's on a rack to be stretched.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Death says, "What kind of fool sneaks into the world of the dead twice?" And our henchman says, and it was the way he said it, one that likes a good stretching. Just,
yeah, I forgot about that stretching machine.
I mean, it was just there for a moment, you know.
Yeah.
But it did also remind me, like, there's got to be a point on one of those racks when you're stretched that you're no, I'm not going to go grim.
No, that's
Well, you're
said,
actually
that's quite
perfectly
nice.
just kind of relaxed. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
actually quite nice.
That's quite nice. And
Yeah,
then very
and then-
quickly it's not nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to get to the nice point and just left there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like years of compression in my spine. Just take it. Oh, I feel like 20 years younger. I didn't even know that muscle was tight.
Yeah. And then crack, you're dead.
Oh, that was my arm out the socket. Oh. It was literally just one that likes a good stretching. It didn't tickle me. There was another one later which I actually put in scene, but it's not a scene, it was a line.
Oh, okay.
And it was at the end again, where, because Death lets Stu go because he tells her how lovely Julie is and how much in love with her he is. And then later, for Death to let him go the second time when they come down after the monkey, falling off the monkey and that, before the end of the film, she says to him, Stu, I have to know, what was it like? What was she like?
Yeah.
And he turns to Death and he says, she was lovely. And he says it in such a sweet way.
Yeah.
She was lovely. And then he just goes, of course I was decomposing at the time. And that was the best line Brendan Fraser said in that whole movie. Yeah. I enjoyed that one a lot. I enjoyed that a lot. So yeah, we're down to scene now.
We are.
Go on. What was your
Probably got
favourite
the
scene?
same scene,
I
haven't
think we have.
So it's the guy with the broken neck who's getting the organs removed. So so it just goes to them. He's down on the table. The doctors are getting the organs out to
It's
be
the
donated.
pancreas is the first one. They pull something out and they go,
I think they're gonna
there's the
pretty much
pancreas.
Take everything, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they take the pancreas, and then he is laying there, and he just all of a sudden gets up and is alive again.
Yeah.
But he's broken his neck, so he has to have his head sort of floppy the whole time. So as he's running out of the hospital and he's running home, and he's got this like floppy neck, and
he keeps
he keeps pulling his head up
and cracking and
Yeah, so he has
Yeah.
to like lift his head up and play about with it. But it would be really difficult to act like you've got a floppy neck, I think, because he makes it look so convincing.
Yes.
I think stuff like that, you know, when people like act drunk, or there's a scene in Wolf of Wall Street where Leonardo DiCaprio is off his face on drugs.
Yeah.
But they take all of these drugs, but they're really old drugs, and they take a load of them because they're not working, they're not kicking in. So they take a load, and then an hour later or whatever, it all kicks in, and he's just like can't speak, can't walk, can't move, and he's in a clubhouse, and he has to get home because they realise that the FBI are tapping into their phone lines or whatever, and he tries to phone his friend and say, don't use the phone for like talking to like people we're making deals with and stuff, because they've tapped the phone line, but he can't speak, and then he has to like come out of this clubhouse and go down several steps to get to his car to get home. He's only like a mile away from his house.
Yeah.
He comes down these stairs, and honestly, he plays it. So he's literally, it's like a muscle relaxer, I think, this drug. So he can barely move, and he can barely talk. He plays it so well. It's amazing. Like how he did that, I don't know. He kind of slithers down the steps. He kind of slides into his car. Like it's all of it is brilliant. He does it really, really well. But I think it's so hard to act something like that.
Yeah. See, I've not seen Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, you need to watch it. It's a good
All right.
movie.
I'll bring the Häagen-Dazs. You provide the slushies.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours long, but it's good. There's a lot going on, so it doesn't feel like 3 hours. But yeah, I thought the guy. So he's got this floppy neck, and it's really funny. Like it's really funny the way he just gaffer tapes up his stomach because like all his organs are going to fall out. So just tapes himself up, and then later on he gets like a splint for his head, doesn't he? And tapes his head to that so that he can keep his head upright. And then he, I think that's in a stunt though, and I won't talk about that because that's in a stunt.
Oh, okay.
So I want to just
you want to mention stunts, yeah, of
because
course.
there was a good stunt.
Yeah.
But I just thought he played it so convincingly.
Oh, yeah.
I just think you'd forget, like you'd be like doing the scene, and then you'd forget to flop your head every now and then, or he just does it. You can't. There's no point when you go, oh, he's forgotten to pretend he's got a floppy head, or he just does it so well, and it does look like his neck is kind of broken because it looks so floppy. I don't know how. Unless they have used like a special effect on it, I don't know. But
I don't think they did.
I think he was just doing
the way he had his head over, and maybe they've like I don't know, put something to make his shoulder look a different position so his neck is further over. I honestly couldn't say, but you're absolutely right. It is an absolute masterclass in physical comedy.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's excellent.
You're completely convinced that his neck's broken.
You are.
Yeah.
I will agree with you on that.
So yeah, that was my favourite scene just because it was funny and I just thought brilliant acting.
I can't even think of another scene that comes close to it in the film.
No, I don't think there.
No, there isn't. No. I can certainly think of another physical scene that's
just bad. Yeah,
bad.
I think we both got the same bad
Yeah, I
scene
think we've
now.
both got the same bad scene now.
Yeah, you'll have to come over to the Patreon for that one.
Yeah, definitely. Whoa, I think that's my thing. It's not a terrible film, but there'll be stuff to talk about on the flip side of this, of course.
There's definitely terrible bits, I think.
Yeah. All right, so why don't we talk about the
stunts?
The stunts. Sorry, yes, that's.
It's only really one stunt that I put down, but there's the bit towards the end where you mentioned it earlier, where they at this event and they end up. So the gymnast guy and Stu end up on the ropes of this big inflatable monkey.
Yes.
But the guy who's the gymnast, he's by this point when he's hanging on the ropes, his organs are starting to fall out. All over the people below.
Yeah, they're
which
going
is quite
everywhere.
funny as well. So you just get like a lung just donk land on the ground, and then like people are like.
There's a liver that lands.
Going on?
The liver lands on a barbecue.
Yeah, so someone's having a barbecue and they're dishing out these burgers to people, and then this liver just lands on the bun, doesn't it? I know.
Lands on the barbecue. The guy picks it off the barbecue, puts it on a bun. Yeah.
And so someone's got a liver burger. So it was just funny, and also it was it's classed as a stunt really rather than sing.
Yeah, I would say so.
Dangling from this inflatable monkey, but it's just the way his organs are just sort of all just falling onto the ground, and people are just like oblivious to it. Like,
oh yeah, what is it? Is it one of the lungs lands on the floor and goes in, and like there's the surgeons are chasing after them,
Yes.
aren't they? And
Yeah.
like the surgeons
Oh,
like,
they take-
I
no.
think it's fine.
They take the liver
Oh, they take the liver off the
back
bun.
off the
yes.
bun and put it back in the freezer.
And they check it, don't they? Like
And they
that'll be
say-
fine.
What did they say? They said something that they put it back in the cooler box, like a chill box.
Yeah, yeah.
And no, I don't think they did say anything. I think I said to you, "Oh, that'll be fine. Just put it on the ice. It'll be fine." It's just been cooked on a barbecue. We've had to put that in someone else's body. Never mind the infections they'll get because that's just fallen from the sky onto a barbecue.
Just give it a wee wash.
It'll be fine.
Well, we wash, it'll be fine.
So yeah, they do pick that back out of the burger bun, don't they?
Yeah. It's 2-second rule.
Yeah.
2-second rule will be fine. It'll be all right. All right, so do we want to rate this movie out of 5 now? This is a tough one because it's not a good bad movie because I don't think it's culty enough or it's trying to be a good movie but it isn't a good movie.
It's not bad enough that it's some movies that we watch are so terrible they're great.
Yeah.
It's not one of those.
And some of them we watch are so terrible they're terrible.
Yeah.
It's just-
Definitely. But this one for me wasn't it's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
It had great elements in it.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I guess it was a bad movie, but it's not one of the worst we've watched, definitely.
Yeah.
I think it had potential, but it wasn't necessarily the best execution of it. So I don't know what would have made it better,
I think I'm just going to go completely just down the middle of the road and say I'm giving it 2.5 stars, and not because and because it is just that. It is just it's neither great, it's neither awful.
Terrible. Yeah.
It's just a middling film. It's just mid.
Yeah.
I'm being down with the youth.
I was going to go
It's mid.
2 out of 5 just because I think I did like the special effects. I thought they were great. I
Yeah.
did like some of the
And
like
that's the thing.
scenery and stuff like like the location of the
And some of that stuff
Well,
really
yeah.
lifts it.
yeah, and it had comedy. It did have some comedy in there. I mean, the gymnast alone gets a point, I think,
Yeah.
just for his scene. So yeah, it had redeeming qualities. I don't think it's something that I would rush out to watch again anytime.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'd recommend other people to watch it. I mean, maybe just look up that gymnast scene on YouTube because
Oh, it's got
That
to
was
be.
great.
If it isn't,
just to see how well he does the broken neck.
it should be. Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't watch the entire movie
No.
for that.
No, I
So yeah, I
wouldn't.
think 2 out of 5.
Yeah, it's just a disappointing film. It's
Yeah.
just disappointing. Like it's almost just good.
I think
You know?
I think it had potential to be great,
Yeah.
but just didn't get there.
Sorry, I had to cough, and I could have just pushed the mute button on my mic, but I didn't. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, that was a very mid. It's just very middling thing of me there. Yeah.
It's not terrible. but
I'm
it's
glad
not-
I've eventually watched it.
Yeah.
You know, and thank you to Ed for lending us the DVD so we could watch it. And now I can talk to him about it because I know he's been itching
Yeah,
to.
and it's always interesting seeing some of these bigger actors, some of the movies they've done previously, because, like we said earlier, by this point he'd done Mummy
Yeah.
and Mummy Returns, which were big movies.
And he was
Then going to a movie like this.
hot property.
I
He
mean,
was.
it's hot property again now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because like The Whale and things like that. But he's sort of having a comeback now.
And absolutely fair as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's so good to see him back. I've not seen The Whale.
I watched it the other day actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's interesting to see some actors how diverse their portfolio is.
Yeah.
Like in terms of you've done some great stuff, and then you've done stuff like Monkey Bone, which is like okay, that's weird.
Do you know what film I loved of Brendan Fraser years and years ago? Airheads.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Do you remember? Just
Yeah.
such a funny film. Steve Buscemi
Yeah.
as
And
well.
you've obviously got George of the Jungle, which my kids love.
Just great. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got he's done stuff before that's been silly, fun.
Yeah.
So it's not completely out of character for him to do a movie like this. It's just I don't think this one quite landed. Like
Just
some of the
doesn't, does
others.
it? Just doesn't. Shame.
But yeah, like I say, it's interesting to see an actor's career and kind of go, oh, you did that and you did that. Like that doesn't seem like the same
And that's it.
career.
Yeah. And even with like Whoopi Goldberg, you
Yeah,
got Whoopi Goldberg. She'd done Ghost by this point.
which was huge.
Yep. And other Jumping Jack Flash.
Yeah.
I loved that film, Jumping Jack Flash.
Has she done like Sister Act and stuff
Sister
like that?
Act? I don't know Sister. Yes, she
That
must
was
have done
pretty big
Sister
as
Act
well,
by
wasn't
that
it?
point as
Yeah.
well.
That must have been 90s, wasn't it? Sister
Oh
Act?
yeah.
Yeah, so she's done some pretty successful movies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's interesting, but I guess that's the beauty of something like acting. You kind of
Yeah.
do so many different projects that some of them are going to be great and some of them are going to be a bit questionable.
Yes, they are indeed. I think, but I kind of mentioned it the other day. It's like, you know, people like Charlize Theron and that, you know,
Yeah.
Halle Berry. I mean, I don't really think Halle Berry's that great an actress, to be honest, but she got an Oscar for Monsters Ball.
I think what I've seen her in.
Charlize Theron got her Oscar for Monster. And then
she
they
was,
went.
yeah, she was good in Monster.
Oh,
though,
it's-
Charlize
yeah.
Theron.
I think Charlize Theron's a great actress.
Yeah.
And she went on and she did Aeon Flux, which was an absolute bomb. And
Yeah.
you know, Halle Berry went on after her Oscar to do things like Catwoman,
Yeah.
you know, which was dreadful. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So Sister Act, you know, Ghost 1990, Sister Act 1992. Oh, how could you forget The Colour Purple for Whoopi Goldberg as
Oh, yeah,
well?
of course. Yeah.
How, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, what a film. I mean, yeah, Sister Act 2 was 93, and Colour Purple was
Yeah.
85.
So she's done some big stuff
Aye.
by this point.
Oh, yeah.
I guess she's only got a little cameo role in it. It's not like a major part, but still.
Yeah. And I don't know, was Whoopi Goldberg was she a stand-up comedian
I don't know
before?
whether she was stand-up or if she did theatre, like
Oh, she's just a
shows. I
theatre
don't know.
actor.
I'm not sure actually.
Yeah. But yeah. There was another film she did. She was a detective. What was it called? It's going to really bug me. She was a
I
detective.
think I've seen her be a detective in anything.
Oh, it's going to really, really bug me. Oh, that's really going to, really going to annoy me. I'm not going to find it, but she was a detective going up against, and I remember it because there was a guy, like, who would eat glass in it. It's very strange.
Oh.
But yeah, she was a detective in it, and I remember watching that, and it was, yeah, anyway, I'm getting distracted because, do you know what? I'm finding it difficult to say goodbye again.
Yeah.
We've rated the movie. It's pretty mid.
We could probably cut out the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, just
fair.
I like 10 minutes. I won't, you know.
No.
It's all content. So thank you to Ed for the DVD.
Yep.
Thank you to our new Patreon, Alison Scott, as well. Long may you Patreon us. And
What?
I know. Please ignore me. But ultimately, that was Monkey Bone.
Yep.
We've been I See Bad Movies. It's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.